and welcome to the Albuquerque Convention Center. I'm your host, Tony Dellaflora. If you've been anywhere in the vicinity of the Convention Center in the last year, you know that the city's version of Extreme Makeover has been going on right here. The center has undergone a $25 million renovation, and with me today is General Manager Jose Garcia to talk about all the big changes. Welcome, Jose. Thanks for having us in your home, as it were.
Thank you, Tony. It's great to have you all here.
Yeah. Before we get into some of the specifics, I wanted to ask you, what was the thinking behind the renovation originally? Why was it needed?
Well, it basically boiled down to need, Tony. We were having clients, meeting planners for national associations. They'd come down, they'd take 10 steps inside the convention center, thank us for bringing them down and say they've seen enough. And they would turn around and say, we won't bring our event to this convention center. And Mayor Barry was able to get wind of this, and he acknowledged the need for improvements. And so it was really his team and his administration that forged ahead.
Okay. What was it that they were, I mean, you must have asked questions. What was it that they didn't like about the center when they were coming in and walking out after 10 steps?
Right, yeah, naturally, you want to know why, these folks are just looking at the convention center and turn around and leaving. And what they said, it was old, it looked tired, and it truly did. If you go back to 2+ years ago, it looked old, it looked tired, it was dated. And there's so much competition around the country, every from other convention centers to other hotels, that either are new or been updated, and we were just lagging behind.
Okay. And you mentioned some of the, there was a lot of exposed concrete and stuff. For people who haven't been down here, what was that old look like?
Well, they called it in the late 60s, early 70s, brutal architecture. It truly was that. It was all exposed concrete. The walls were exposed, the gray corrugated concrete, the ceilings, mostly exposed concrete, and it just looked cold, it looked dark, and it just wasn't appropriate for this day and age, and it wasn't appropriate for Albuquerque. It didn't reflect who we are as a city.
Right. Well, what did you want to do? What was the thinking behind the renovation? What did you want to accomplish with that?
Well, there was a lot of folks involved, and the mayor being very involved with the project. He led the way, and he said he wanted the look and feel of Albuquerque. Okay. And we talked about the airport. The airport is very Albuquerque. Right. And for our visitors, we wanted to continue that feeling downtown in the convention center. Sure. So you have the look and feel of Albuquerque, New Mexico, at the airport, and now we have it here at the convention center. And so that was the direction we headed. And Decker Parrish Sabatini did a tremendous job accomplishing that goal.
Well, how would you describe the look and feel of it now? Well,
having gone through the renovation for 2 years, first it's an amazing product that we have. It's welcoming, it's inviting, it's softer, it's lighter, it feels more airy, and it is. It gives you a sense of place that you're in Albuquerque. I've been to so many other convention centers across the country, and they all look the same. They're boxy convention centers. Here, as we go around and look at some of the different areas, you have a sense that you are in Albuquerque, and Albuquerque is a very unique city.
Yeah. In terms of accomplishing sort of that warmer feel, I think you mentioned before that instead of the concrete, you've got more wood and stone.
We did. We added stone features, especially around the fireplace. We did an extensive wall coverings to cover that concrete. Some of it's simple paint, other is plaster, stucco material, and then all new carpet. The carpet that was here was over 20 years old. And it's a testament to that carpet that it stood up for that long.
Right.
But its day had come and gone.
Right.
And so we have all new carpet. Where we're sitting now is a sort of a political map of Albuquerque.
Okay.
As you get an aerial view, you have the river running through it, and you can see the major streets here, which is cool. Upstairs on the ground level of the West Complex, this dated paver material, all covered with carpet, and it's tremendous how you can add some new fresh carpet that reflects your place, that reflects Albuquerque, some wall finishings and some ceiling treatments, and you have a completely new convention center. We have a new product to sell here in Albuquerque.
Right. You mentioned the sort of map of Albuquerque. What other kind of uniquely Albuquerque things are part of the decor here?
Well, the carpet, as I mentioned, is reflective in its color and its design. The walls, the wall finishings, in its color and design gives it that that stucco plaster look. Behind us we have the fireplace with the rock finishing around it. The mantle. Outside, we have that territorial look, and that was what DPS was headed towards, was a territorial look, which was Albuquerque, where you melded the Native American components with the Anglo-American components as they came together, and we got the new very Albuquerque, very New Mexico architecture.
Okay.
We have the big torreon outside. The tower.
Yeah.
And it's breathtaking if you're on Civic Plaza and you're looking at all the glass, all the windows, and then you have this amazing torreon, just adjacent to it. And then you have, we talked about the entrance, that territorial style entrance, adding, all that glass. And what I like to do, what I like to call it, is bringing the outside in and bringing the inside out. Okay. Before, you had a big concrete box.
Right.
So if you drove by the convention center, you didn't know what was going on. Well, now if you drive by the convention center, you can see in and see everything that's going on.
Okay.
We have a new boardroom in the Kiva, beautiful new boardroom, and that when the table's not done, it's being made by a local artist, and that's going to have a very Albuquerque feel to it as well. Yeah. The meeting rooms, the door. Things as simple as the doors have a very New Mexico feel. The portals, again, with that territorial look. The portals to the different areas as you come into the convention center, as you transition from one space to the other. These large, magnificent portals.
Yeah. Yeah, and the doors are one of the first things I noticed coming in here, completely different from the look before.
Right. When you had a standard 7.0 door, and now you raise them up to 8 feet plus, it gives us a sense of welcoming, a sense of place, that you're not walking into a tunnel or a tunnel entrance.
Right. Well, I want to get back to some more of these changes, but first of all, how long did this whole renovation take?
We started in January 2013. Okay. It was done in 2 phases. And in our conversation, we've really talked about phase 2. Phase 1, very important phase, focused on the ballroom primarily, and the kitchen. The ballroom, as dated as any, totally gutted the ballroom, and all new floor, all new carpet, all new wall finishings, all new ceiling treatments. We added all new state-of-the-art sound system in there. And rig points, so that we have the capability of doing, nice, large, technologically advanced banquets and catered events in there. Yeah. We added a beautiful new balcony. We call it the Buena Vista balcony. Looks out into downtown, looks over Civic Plaza. And really the crowning achievement of our ballroom is the colored LED lights. We have over 1 million different options that our guests and our clients can choose from.
Wow.
And then the kitchen. And the kitchen, it's an amazing place from where we went. And I like to tell this story that this building was finished in 1972.
Right.
We actually had an oven that was older than 1972. And so I'm proud to say I have a very happy chef.
Yes.
With a lot of the equipment all the equipment that we received, because it was a complete redesign of the kitchen.
Right.
So that was phase 1. Phase 1 was pretty much completed in July of 2013, and then we rolled right into Phase 2,
Okay.
which was much of the interior treatments and the exterior treatments.
Yeah. Now, I guess the biggest challenge for you guys was this was still an operating facility this whole time. How did you do it with all this renovation going on?
A lot of communication.
Yeah.
A lot of communication and a lot of understanding from our guests and our clients.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there were some concerns, and we did receive some complaints, but to get to where we're at today, it had to get done. We were very sensitive to our guests and our clients' needs, primarily with safety, but
Yeah.
also with the production of their event. Whether it was a meeting or a concert or a sporting event, whatever, a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
We were very sensitive to making sure that we executed their event at a high level.
Yeah.
So we did. We were fully operational through the project.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not quite as complicated as probably redoing I-25, but I'm sure.
Or the Paseo interchange.
But I'm
It's
sure it was-
complicated, but no.
Yeah.
I don't envy those folks.
Right. Right. Well, let's get back to the look in here. What are you mentioned some of the amenities already. What's some of the new stuff? I noticed you had like a laptop bar here.
We do. We have what they call FF&E, and part of the project was to add a lot of furniture to our lobby space. And if you look around, you feel like you're in a living room. You feel like you're in a 5-star resort, and that's what we want. We want people to come here and feel at home. And we call this space that we're in right here La Sala,
Okay.
which is the place, is the living room
Yeah.
for us. And then the other thing are the art. Before you could probably count the art pieces on 2 hands. Now we have over 140 pieces of beautiful art. It ranges from black and white photos to a 40-piece sculpture.
Wow.
Just amazing art, and my hat's off to the city art and cultural services for really emphasizing that here, because that's what is one of the attractions to Albuquerque. It's our culture, it's our people. Oh, by the way, it's also our art, and here it's visual art. And then we talked about the balcony and the boardroom,
Right.
the LED lights in the ballroom upstairs,
Yeah.
and then the Buena Vista balcony.
Yeah. I was also happy to hear that you're continuing the tile mural on the outside of the building.
Yes, and that's not part of the project. It's not part of the renovation project, but it is. It lends to it. It lends to it in that part of the downtown revitalization is that making downtown very walkable, and the city's done a couple walkability studies, and as part of that, to connect Edo with downtown,
Right.
Innovate ABQ, is that we're going to continue the mosaic tile
Okay.
east,
Okay.
south of the east building. We're really excited about that. It's a great group to work with, and they're amazing artists.
Okay. Well, good. As I say, I'm glad to see that going on, that the city's taking that into account. Give folks an idea. I mean, if you're local, you may come down to the convention center or not, but what kind of business do you guys do? How many events are going on here in a typical year?
Well, we do anywhere. It's hard to say. We do about 350 events a year. On average, 210,000 people come through here. It's a good mix of national conventions, which is on the uptick,
Right.
with local regional events. And local regional events are anywhere from entertainment events, concerts. Yesterday we had Teresa Caputo, the Long Island Median, sold out show in the Kiva
Okay.
Auditorium. This week we have a national convention, and then we roll in and we have things like the indoor track and field. And UNM hosts several track meets. And then, people love to come here and have their weddings in our ballrooms, in our different ballrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, local conventions that, a couple that pop right into mind are, Head to Toe, New Mexico Dental Association,
Yeah.
have their events here. So, we're busy. We're busy, and things are looking really good. in large part to the convention center renovation.
Yeah. So it's pretty much a 365-day operation.
Absolutely,
Almost.
absolutely.
Maybe you take Christmas off.
No, I had a conversation.
You can't take Christmas off.
No, I had a conversation with Bruce Rizzeri yesterday, and talking about the Luminaria tour, and that's Christmas Eve, and they start and finish here at the convention center.
Yeah.
And we're proud to partner with that group.
Yeah. So after having a chance to stand back and take everything in, do you guys think you accomplished what you set out to do originally?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think there was it was a lot to chew on, and I think the city did a phenomenal job with the $25 million they had. If you look around and people come in here and say, you did all this with $25 million, and they're shocked. I mean, and it's a lot. If you take where we were to where we're at now, it's an amazing accomplishment. It's an amazing feat that they were able to do this with only $25 million.
Yeah. You had mentioned to me previously that you'd gotten some really good feedback from the first real convention to go on here post renovation. Tell me a little bit about that.
So yeah, that group finished up on Sunday. It was called the Glow International. It was about 2,000 folks, and it's an interdenominational Christian group. And they signed with us when we were in the throes of the renovation. They had no idea that when we were they had an idea of when we were going to finish, or what the final product was. So again, a lot of faith, a lot of understanding in us to get the project done. And when they arrived, they were blown away. Their attendees were blown away. They stepped in here. They were like, "Show me more." And when we showed them the finished product, they couldn't have been happier. We have a group starting today, a conference, and they were here in January to do their site tour. They had already contracted, and they were concerned. I mean, they came in here and we were knee deep in construction, full blown construction. I spoke to them yesterday, and they had mile-wide smiles, and they were like, "This is amazing. This was more than we could have hoped for." Obviously, it's finished, which they're abundantly happy for, but the finished product is amazing.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know it's hard to speculate, but do you think this will have the impact of getting even more events and things in here?
Absolutely, and we've already seen that. It's trending upwards. And the big question is, what about these national conventions? The convention center is one of many components for national associations, corporations to pick a destination. How accessible is it? Flights to the airport, hotel rooms, attractions,
right.
Different city amenities. But the convention center plays a huge part, a majority of the part. And having this brand new product not only puts us in the game, but it sets us apart nationally, because we have a very unique convention center that resembles the place and the specialness that Albuquerque is.
Yeah. You had mentioned you thought it was no longer a liability now in terms of attracting people.
Well, absolutely, it's definitely no longer now a liability, and it's an asset. And and I've said this before. The convention center, our sales team, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, their sales team have something to work with now. They have something to go out and show off and be proud of, and say, hey, this is why you want to be in Albuquerque. Look at the beautiful place that you can have your association have their meeting.
Well, now that we've got people interested in locally what's going on at the convention center, how can they come here and see it? What's the best time to do that?
Well, if they want to come and check out what's been done, we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. They can come in and check in with our guest services. They can come in and check in downstairs with our administration staff in the hub, also a new place.
Okay.
And there's so many new things to look at, and just if you're familiar with the convention center, it's going to blow you away. It just truly is.
Yeah.
We had folks here last night around 8 p.m., because our doors were open. We had an event going on. They wanted to see the art, which is really, really neat.
Yeah.
And then if they want to come to an event, they can go online to albuquerquecc.com, and they can go to our events calendar, and there's plenty of events for them to attend here at the convention center if it suits their fancy.
Yeah. Now, I understand you also have a blog that people can check in with to see the latest what's going on.
We do. We've started a blog. It is in its infancy, and I'm working with the Convention and Visitors Bureau on that. So we'll have a link to that on our website as well, albuquerquecc.com. Otherwise, if you go to visitabq.com, you can see it there.
Great, great. Well, it sounds like you're going to have an even busier year now than you did before. So
we're looking forward to it.
Yeah,
we're looking forward
good
to
luck
it, Tony.
with that, and hope all goes well. And you guys have again I stepped in here for the first time in 2 years, and you did do an amazing job.
I was going to ask you, what was your feeling when you walked in here?
I didn't recognize it, basically.
Right.
It was very, very different from what I remember seeing. So.
And that's part of the joy of it, is when, and for me, I still experience that. But when folks come in here and their eyes get as big as saucers, and the first words out of their mouth is "wow," and that's amazing. And that's gratifying. And it shows how important it is, and that the need was there, and that the city, the administration, the city council, and they were able to get it done.
Yeah, good. Well, we have to wrap up here, but I want to thank Jose Garcia, the general manager here, for inviting us in today to talk about this, and I want to thank you for joining us today. And come on down and check it out. It's a pretty special place.